we are able to utilize our experiences and share this with each other. So I'll start with strategy in action. How many of you know what strategy means? How many of you can define it in your hand? Please raise your hand. Only one person? That's it? Can we have a mic? Who can define strategy? Okay, 3 hands, 4 hands. Come on, raise your hand higher, please. Who can define strategy?
Strategy means goal and means. And what is your goal and what are the different means you are going to achieve that goal?
All right.
That is what is strategy in very short form.
All right. Next, who would like to try?
Strategy about meeting your vision through actionable plans, and has got 2 parts: strategy formulation and strategy execution. I think this will reflect in your presentation also somewhere.
That's great. Anyone else who wants to try?
Yeah, here. Niranjan.
Yeah, please.
It's just the way of doing things.
Okay, that's great.
That's strategy.
Anyone else also wants to try? Yes, please. That gentleman from Doordarshan.
Yeah, so a strategy means all the business activities.
Just a second. Yeah, you go ahead, please, first. All right. You please, go ahead.
Yeah, so that means all the business activities and the processes that we do in terms of achieving our business goal and impacts on our project, that is collectively termed as strategy or business strategy.
Perfect. Yes, please. Last, that person, please, in the end. Last person.
I'll go only one.
Okay, you go ahead and then you. That's it.
Strategy for me, in a simple word, how to.
Okay.
How to do, how do we do this? How to.
All right.
Can I
You
try,
please.
please?
Yes,
Can
please.
I try?
Yes.
Okay. If it is how to do is the planning, then strategy is to outperform the planning.
All right, great. That's it.
Excuse me, can I try, please? Or is it strategy to look at back only?
Okay.
Guys, no offenses to anyone. See, strategy is simple choices. What
Okay.
choice you make towards achieving your goal.
Perfect.
You will have n number of activities to do, n number of, I would say, solutions
Okay,
to apply, but what you choose is your strategy.
great. So everyone who answered, please stand up on your seats. Everyone who answered what strategy means, please stand up. Yeah, not on the chair, on your seats. Please stand up, sir. And now everyone, let's raise a round of applause for these people. So in only 5 minutes, what we have done is we have shared our experiences, and now we have so many definitions of strategy. We all know what strategy means. It's not like we don't know. But this is what ProjSutra also aims to achieve, that we as a collective share our experiences, our definitions, our knowledge with each other, and that translates into a great hub of knowledge. And that's what we are going to focus on today. So raise of hand. How many of you were able to successfully deliver your last 5 projects on time, within scope, and within budget? Please raise your hand. That's it? Okay. And how many of you can confidently say, with 100% confidence, that these 5 projects were able to successfully advance business strategy of your organization? 3 hands. So we have 275 people attending this event today, and 3 of us know what we are going to talk about. So there's a lot of room for learning for everyone else. And that's what we strive to achieve, right? There's something that you can take away from this session, learn what we are going to talk about. So when you entered in the hall, you all got a piece of paper on your seats. Everyone has it? I can't hear you. Everyone has it? Yes. Great. So what that piece of paper is the project to strategy canvas, which is going to be the base of our presentation today. Now, when we are talking about strategy, let me give you an example. We all have done projects, and we have all done projects amazingly, on time, within budget, within scope. Everything was done, everything was perfect. We received appreciation from the client, but still the senior leadership does not acknowledge it. And this is something that Anvesha also talked about when she started the session. Why does that happen? That happens because the perception is not managed, and that is what the MORE framework talks about. M stands for managing perceptions, and that's what we are going to learn. The next 30 minutes are going to be about learning how to manage these perceptions, learning how to translate our project deliveries into business outcomes. Project delivery is not the finish line for us. It has been so far, but now our finish line is going to be business outcome, the business outcome that we are deriving from our project. Now here's the data from PMI Pulse of Profession. Even at high-performing organizations, those that achieve 80% or more projects on time, on budget, and meeting original goals, only 57% of projects are highly aligned to strategy. That shows you a clear gap of 43%. That 43% is your scope. You can fill that 43% in your organization, and you can see 100% of PMs are filling in 57%, and you as an individual PM can fill that 43% gap. That's going to be your contribution to the organization, and that's going to define your career graph. Now, why does it matter? When we do anything, कुछ भी करने से पहले we ask ourselves, क्यों करना? 57% हो ही रहा है, so why bother with all this, right? When you don't do this, it brings you to the problem of missed business impact. When you are not making the business impact, the right business impact, it does not translate to the senior leadership. They don't see the value in you. They don't see the value in the work that you do. It eventually leads to layoffs, budget cuts. We've all seen or known someone from our lives or our friend circle who have been a part of these budget cuts. It happens because the organization do not see the value in that particular line of work or that particular project. The second issue is the frustrated teams. We have team members who work with us, who give 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day even. And still, when it's time for appraisal and promotions, they don't get the promotion. They are stuck with 2% appraisal, 5% appraisal. They don't get the 20% appraisal that some other team gets. Why? Because as a senior leadership, I have a budget of X amount. And if I have to give the appraisals, I'll give that appraisal to the people who are bringing more money to me. You may be bringing more money to me, but you are not translating it to me. You're not communicating it to me. And that's what we are going to learn, how to communicate that today. The third is the wasted resources. Organizations work in silos. You're working on one department, you're working in another department. There's no connect between you two. And that disconnect means you are also working on one thing, you're also working on one thing. Both may lead to the same outcome. Both may be the same product. But still, the organization is paying you the same and paying you the same with the same output. And that is the wasted resources. Now to do this, you all know what this figure is, right? This is the PMI talent triangle. Can you point out which area of this are we going to focus on today? Which section of the PMI talent triangle? Anyone, raise your hand and just say the answer. Yes, please. Okay. Anyone else? Yes? Okay, anyone else? Business acumen. Exactly. We are going to talk about utilizing your business acumen. Now, in your organizations, you have projects on one side, and on the other side, you have goals and strategy. But there's a disconnect. Can you see the disconnect? What is that disconnect called? Read the screen. What is that disconnect called? Missing outcomes. You're doing the work, the outcome is there. But why is it missing? Why is it missing? Anyone knows the answer to that question? Not aligned to business. Correct. How do we fill that gap? How do we bridge it? How do we bridge it? Say it. You have to read the screen. Project to strategy canvas. Now you all have a copy of the project to strategy canvas. Open it up, go to the number 1 item. Perfect. The canvas is divided into multiple sections. Each section talks about different elements of work, different areas of work, different value of each particular section. To start with, we have the project overview section. All right? Every section of the canvas has 4 columns. One is the serial number, other is the element. The next is the guiding question, and the next will be the example entry. The example entries are only there to help you understand what this question is and what would be an ideal answer. Your answers to all these questions will differ. Understood? Understood? Great. So now for the sake of this presentation, we have taken this example of one project, which is the customer onboarding redesign. All right? The section A, the first section of the project to strategy canvas, is the project overview. How many of you have already prepared a project overview in your project plans? Raise your hand. Almost everyone. We have a remarkable crowd, Nilima. So, the first item is obviously going to be the project title. This is what you are going to refer to. Whenever you open this sheet, in your worksheets, you know that I'm talking about this one project. What is going to be the primary objective? You don't have to prepare a list of 5 objectives. You have to keep it simple. Keep it simple as that. What is the primary objective? The guiding question for that is, what are you trying to achieve in this project? The answer in this particular example is reduce onboarding time by 30%. Now, before I go to the next section, how many of you can guess what is going to be the overall outcome of this particular project? What is going to be the business impact? If you can guess it, just raise your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people can guess what is going to be the overall outcome of this project, what is going to be the business outcome. Great. Everyone else, we are going to walk through this journey and figure that out. The next is going to be the project type. In our organizations, we have multiple types of projects. We have generalized it. It is internal, external, compliance, strategic, and operational. If there's any other section or any other type of project in your organization, feel free to add it to the canvas. It's a modular document. Whatever you like, you keep it. Whatever you don't like, whatever is not relevant to you, remove it. As simple as that. Coming to the next section. It's the business and strategy alignment section. So, the first item in this is the key business problem. Do you know what key business problem means? How many of you know what key business problem means? Okay, we have a few hands. The key business problem, how do you reach to the key business problem? You ask the question, what business problem or opportunity is this project addressing? That's how you identify the key business problem. Now this section, the business and strategic alignment section, is going to be the foundation of your project, is going to be the foundation on which you build this canvas. Anyone from construction here? Construction background? Sir, please tell me, what is the importance of a strong foundation? What happens if I don't have a strong foundation? Building will collapse. So if the foundation is weak, the building will collapse. So how do we build a strong foundation in this section? We keep it limited to our team and our immediate stakeholders. People who we can reach out to, people who we can talk to in a much more candid way. Less red tapeism and more direct conversation. All right? So we talk to our stakeholders, we talk to our team, and we find the answer to this question. In this example, the answer is delays in onboarding leads to churn. Now comes the second element. What is the strategic priority that is supported in this particular project. The question would be, which org level priority or OKR does it align with? Now, a lot of us may not know what is the organizational level strategy, and that's where the next part comes in, the executive sponsor. Every project has an executive sponsor. It may be different from your business head, or it may be the same person as your business head. But we all have an executive sponsor, and this particular person is present in all the senior leadership meetings. They know what the monthly goals are. They know what the quarterly goals are. They know what the yearly goals are. They know if the company is going to be acquired by someone. They know if the company is acquiring a different company. Mergers, acquisitions, big business decisions, big investments, raising funds, acquisition of a new client, dropping of a client, all these goals, all these areas are understood by your executive sponsor. So what does success look like in their words? Once you know that, you know what you are going to achieve with this project. And that is faster onboarding is equal to, I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Faster revenue. So if you are doing your onboarding faster, that saves time. That also leads to faster revenue. The next element is expected business outcome. The tangible results that will impact the business. Anyone has a question, why do we ask only tangible results? Exactly. It has to be measurable. It can't be something vague. It can't be that everyone is happy. If I say most of the people are happy, if I want to measure the success of this presentation, I say that everyone participated, or I say most of the people participated. What is most of the people? I can't say that. But if I say that 20% of the audience actively participated and 80% of the audience passively participated, is that a tangible result? So everyone now understand what this tangible results mean? Raise your hand if you understand it. Those who don't understand it, are you using your phone or should I explain it again? All right. Now in this example, it's faster time to value for new customers. So the time to value is faster. We know that this particular project has been successful. The next section of the canvas, which is the stakeholder and value chain map. Now from here on, you understand and you enter the territory of organizational level things. So the first stakeholder in this value chain map is going to be the primary user. Right now, all of us as project managers are only focusing on this particular user, this particular stakeholder, which is primary users. So primary users are our end users. So who is involved in this example? The customer success managers. What is the value they need from this project? Intuitive tools and less manual follow-up. The next stakeholder is the business owners. This business owner may be your executive sponsor too. Okay? If it is not, it is someone else. So your executive sponsor is going to have a direct link between them and this particular business owner. VP of customer experience. The business owner is going to represent your project, market your project, and represent your success in all the business meetings. Why? Because it leads to them showing that their particular business unit is going to do a great work for the organization goal. It's advancing the organizational strategy. So for their success, they market you. And who does it indirectly benefit? Who does it benefit indirectly? You, correct. The next stakeholder is the cross-functional stakeholder, which is, in this example, product, IT, and training teams. The cross-functional stakeholders are always going to support your project. So these people are going to help you make your project successful, make sure that your project is delivered on time to the right people and in the right way possible. Now coming to the decision makers. How many of you have had an interaction with these people, the decision makers in your organization, the CEO, Chief Operating Officer, or the Chief Executive Officer? Please raise your hand. Now, based on your experiences, do you find it easy to talk to them? Do you find it convenient to immediately reach out to them or not? Not? It's difficult, right? Reaching them is difficult. So either a business owner will give you this answer or any other stakeholder who has a direct chain or a direct connect with them, they'll help you get the answer to this question. So the answer to this question is they want retention KPIs and lower onboarding costs. In almost all the examples, you will see that the top leadership will want quantifiable results. Now, these are the strategy friction checks. This is what you do before you start the project. You make sure that you have all the resources when you need it. First section is misaligned measures. Are success metrics tied to outputs or outcomes? The second one is competing priorities. Are any other departments working on a similar initiative? So sometimes what happens is you're working on a particular project as an engineering team, and then there's a sales team which has hired another vendor to work on a similar software. So both are going to do the same work, but the organization is spending on you as well and them as well. And you are making the same mistakes as they are making. So both of you are not learning from each other. This is where this particular canvas helps you. You don't work in silos anymore. You coordinate. You talk to each other. You share your wins, you share your failures, you share your learnings. And once you do that, the failure rate drops down. You don't fail anymore because you don't make the same mistakes they have made. The next section is, the next element is something that we have all faced. Stakeholder apathy. Are stakeholders unclear why this matters? Anyone from HR background here? So as an HR representative, you know that you do a lot of work and then stakeholders are like, it's just a process. It does not make money to the organization, right? It's not viewed as an actual product. So if that's the case, you identify that before you start the project. So if your particular project is seen as just a process, you tell them what is going to be the outcome of this project. Yes, please.
When you talk about stakeholders,
Correct.
like you do some sort of a research on them, like grade, it's a grade, right? Power.
Mike, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
When you do, as in when you talk to the stakeholders, do you go ahead and do some research on them? Like for instance, there's a grade called power, influence, and the kind of interest they have in the project.
Correct.
Right. So based on that, do you go ahead and speak to the stakeholders or you arbitrarily choose a stakeholder?
So your stakeholders, let's come back to the stakeholders. Okay. So the stakeholders that you primarily need to target are these four stakeholders. First is the primary stakeholders, which is going to be your end user. The second is the business owner. Everyone knows who their business owner are. You have all the research, you have your experience with them. The next one is the cross-functional. You work with them directly, indirectly, you know them in your formal and informal settings. The next is the decision makers. We don't all have access to them, right? So that's where business owners come in. So even if you want to reach out to them, you need the research, you need to know more about them. Business owner is your point of contact. They give you all the necessary information that you need to know to fill out this section of the particular canvas.
One more thing, tangible results that will impact the business. What about reputational costs?
Reputational cost.
Yeah.
How do you define it? In terms of
Kind
monetary
reputation
terms.
in the market, will they recommend you
In
to
monetary terms, can you define it?
like will they recommend you to anyone else?
I mean, if you can define it in a success matrix, if you are doing a research or if you are filling out a survey form, then you can make it a tangible result. If there's a survey form and you can type it yes or no.
Faster onboarding, is it faster revenue or higher revenue?
That's an example. Example will differ. So you don't have to focus on the example. You have to focus on the core element of it, the core area. Continuing, since we have very limited time.
Thank you.
Tools and resource gaps. We all have started projects and we see that tool is not available. People are waiting to be onboarding. People are, they've joined the team, but they don't have access to the repository, they don't have access to the tools, licenses are not there. So if these issues are there, you set up a SOP before you start the project. Next is the second last section of the canvas, which is the outcome reframing canvas. So this particular section will depend on your activities, how many activities you take out in the particular project. So if you see, it's 16.1, 2, 3, and you can have as many entries as you want. So you list out what the activity is that you are doing in this project, what is the desired shift in behavior, and what is going to be the business impact. Let's look at one example. Launch new onboarding module. So once we launch the new onboarding module in this project, our desired shift is that customers complete onboarding in 7 days. What is going to be the business impact? That leads to accelerated revenue by reducing the ramp-up time. So similarly, you have to list out your activities. What is the desired shift in behavior that you want from this particular activity of the project, and what is going to be the business impact? This discussion you have to have with your executive sponsor so that you both are on the same page and you can translate this to the senior leadership. Coming to the final section, which is the strategic storyboard. This is going to form your communication layer. So if there's stakeholder apathy, they'll ask you 3 questions: the why, the how, and the when. And this is how you find the answer to those 3 questions. What's the burning platform or problem worth solving? Example, onboarding delays are costing us millions annually. The how, what's the approach or initiative we are driving? We're redesigning onboarding to be fully automated. And the when, what does success look like in business terms? So we cut churn by 12% and halved onboarding times. So you have answer to these 3 questions, and you can immediately have this stakeholder apathy rolled forward. Now you all have a copy of the canvas. We have very limited time, so all you have to do is talk to the person right next to you. One of you will be the project manager, the other will be the stakeholder. And you have a notepad as well, so note down the serial number and write the answers to the question. We are not going to do all the sections of the canvas. Can I have a copy, please? We are only going to focus on the second section, which is the business and strategic alignment. That's it. There are 4 questions that you have to answer. Talk to the person next to you, write down the answer, and then I'm going to come to you and talk to you. And then after that, we're going to have the conclusion. Few questions as well. We don't have that much time to do the questions, so I'll be available during the networking section. You can come to me, we can talk about it, we can talk about the entries that you have made, we can validate them. Now let's talk about the key takeaways. 3 simple takeaways. The first takeaway is strategic win is the true measure of success. Now your project delivery is not the final outcome. The final outcome is the business impact. How do you get the business impact? You follow the canvas, you have the answers, and you communicate that. The second takeaway, projects must connect to business outcomes. The third, the canvas makes alignment visible. So the next time you start a project, you have to ask one simple question: where is the win? Which is the last question to the canvas. That's my time. Thank you so much. You see a QR code on the bottom right section. You'll have access to the digital version of the canvas and access to 3 more templates that we have in our organization. You'll go to this particular link, you'll fill out the form, and you'll get an automated mail with access to them. So just take a picture so that you can do that later on. That's it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Niranjan, for your engaging and insightful session targeting business acumen. It is alarming to know that even if 57% of the projects are on track, 43% of them are still slipping through the cracks and causing missed business outcomes, layoffs, frustration, and ultimately a financial collapse. So thank you again for connecting the dots for us between strategy, planning, and ultimately the real world impact.
Thank you.
So thank you. I would now like to call upon Anuj Kumar. He is our mentor with ProjSutra'25 to facilitate Niranjan. Let's have a huge round of applause.